Hey everyone! Today we are diving deep into an important topic for all Indian students who are planning to study in Canada. With new changes in Canada's immigration policies, enrollment options, and overall education landscape, for international students, it's crucial to stay informed. Whether you're just thinking about studying in Canada or you're already in the process, this video will guide you through the latest updates and help you build your life in Canada with confidence. As of 2025, Canada has introduced some significant changes in its immigration policies. The Canadian government has updated the requirements for study permit, visa applications, and work permits. One of the biggest shifts is the stricter documentation process. Now, international students, especially those from India, are required to submit additional proof of funds and ensure they are applying to recognized institutions. These changes aim to ensure that students are genuinely committed to their studies and are able to provide for themselves during their stay in Canada. If you are planning to apply for a study permit, you will need to be extra thorough with your application. Financial proof is now a more critical component. You will need to show not only your tuition fees but also your living expenses for the duration of your stay. The processing times for visas have increased, so make sure to apply well in advance to avoid any delays. Also, let's talk about the post-graduation work permit. This is a vital step for students looking to work after their studies and gain valuable experience in Canada. The good news is that PGWP still exists, but it's now directly linked to the length of your program. If your program lasts less than 8 months, you won't be eligible for a PGWP, so make sure your course duration meets the criteria. One of the key updates in 2025 is the change in university enrollment options. Due to an overwhelming number of applications, some Canadian universities have started to limit their intake of international students. This is particularly true for popular programs like business, engineering, and computer science. If you are an Indian student applying to these fields, it's more important than ever to start applying early and make sure you meet all the eligibility criteria. But how do you make sure you are applying to a legitimate and recognized university? The best way is to check the DLI list, which is available on the Canadian government's official website. Only those institutions on this list are allowed to accept international students. Be cautious about scams and always verify your university's accreditation. Let's talk about the financial side of things. The cost of studying in Canada has always been significant, but with the rise of these policy changes, we see a rise in both tuition fees and living costs. Major cities like Toronto and Vancouver are particularly expensive. Rent, food, and transportation costs are all on the rise, and this could impact your budget. However, don't worry, there are still financial aids and scholarships available. Many universities offer scholarships specifically for international students. Additionally, there are government-funded programs like the Vanier Canada Graduate Programs or the Lester B. Pearson International Scholarship, which you can apply for. But remember, the competition is getting tougher, so start preparing early. Now, one of the reasons international students choose Canada is the opportunity to work while studying. The good news is, international students are still allowed to work part-time during their studies. However, there are some restrictions in the place. Students can typically work up to 20 hours per week during the academic terms and full-time during holidays. For Indian students, industries like technology, healthcare, engineering, and hospitality are some of the best areas to target for part-time jobs and internships. These sectors are constantly hiring, and gaining experience in these fields will significantly improve your chances of landing a full-time job after graduation. If you are considering staying in Canada after your studies, one of the most important things to know is the pathway to permanent residency. With the recent policy changes, it's starting to become more competitive to gain a PR in Canada. The Express Entry program is still an option, but students now need to ensure that they meet all the eligibility criteria, such as obtaining a job offer in high-demand field. The good news is, Canada's Provincial Nominee Program still offers accelerated pathways for international students, especially in sectors where there's a labor shortage. While Canada is a fantastic destination for international students, there are always risks. Unfortunately, scams targeting students are not uncommon, so be extremely cautious while choosing your university or agent. Avoid any institution that promises a guaranteed visa or job placement. Always verify the legitimacy of the university through the DLI list or online reviews. So, what can you do to prepare for studying in Canada in 2025? Here are some quick tips. Start your application process early, especially since visa processing times are longer. Ensure your financial documents are accurate and complete. If you haven't already, work on improving your English proficiency, as English language test scores are a key part of your application. Create a realistic budget to cover tuition and living expenses. Consider applying for scholarships and loans. Research the job market in Canada to make sure there are opportunities in your field after graduation. Despite these changes, Canada remains one of the best places to work, study, and live for international students, especially for Indian students looking for global opportunities. By staying informed, preparing early, and applying to right institutions, you can still achieve your dream of studying in Canada. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm here to help. Good luck with your studies and your journey to Canada.